I feel like this confusion is on many levels. So you would be confused. There are many thoughts on your mind, there are many feelings on your mind, so you're definitely confused about that. You want to run to her, you want to go to her, you want to reach out, but you would be confused about, first of all, how do I do this? How do I play this out? I feel like, you know what? I feel like this collective here really romantic. I always say to my feminists, don't expect that your masculine is going to return on a white horse, just like screaming your name for whole town. But I feel like you have it in you. Beautiful. I feel like you have it in you. That you're very romantic. This is why you locked your heart so much. The more sensitive we are as we encounter pain in our early age, the more we lock our heart, because our heart is just so big and vulnerable, right? I feel you are a romantic. You would want to romanticize your life, but that mind is stopping you from doing that. I feel like this is what you need. Remember that card? What kind of love do you desire? You need to romanticize your life right now. I feel this is going to help you. Just dream. Daydream about her, you on that white horse, proposing, whatever floats your boat, go for it. Whatever comes to you, it's because it is on your timeline. It's because you deserve it. It's because you have it in you. I feel, but you're confused. Why? Because again, there's still the element of strategy within you. You have to raise your energy to the level of the heart. This is when masculine goes like, poof, I'm just going to listen to my heart. Your mind is beautiful. You need your mind as masculines to manage this physical reality. Your mind is very important. But you really have to learn to work with it as a tool, not as a ruler of your life. So you will be confused on how to do this, but you're also very confused how she's going to react. Because you're this, and maybe it's for a reason, I'm hearing that because you are very romantic, if you would probably be one of those people that you would go for a grand gesture. But then if you go for a grand gesture, if she's gonna, just like in a song, I want to run to you, will you stay or will you run away? Well, she's gonna put in a boundary with you because it's been so long, right? But you can combine these two. There's really, we can start from small grand gestures. Grand gestures don't necessarily mean that you're forcing someone to do something, right? A grand gesture, so I'm going to give you an example, right? A grand gesture for a woman, if a grand gesture is like you're suddenly popping up and we haven't seen her for years, and let's say you do it on that white horse and you pop the question, true divine feminine will be like, hold on now, okay? Hold on now, wait a minute, sir. I haven't seen you for like 4 years or however many years it was. And if you get triggered, if you get upset, it's because it's still your shadow. So whatever grand gesture you do, you don't do it with an expectation. Don't force anything on her, right? Maybe this is why you cannot figure this out. I'm hearing this clearly. But there are grand gestures. A beautiful love letter can be a grand gesture. I don't know why I'm thinking, I really don't like this movie. I really don't understand why people like this movie, but it just came to my mind. Sex and the City, when he doesn't show up at the wedding, that movie, and then he sends her a love poem every day on her email, right, to win her back. It's a beautiful, she should never be with this man, just a side note. It's like trauma. But I'm gonna get into it, but it's really beautiful grand gesture that asks for nothing. I just want to show you something. I just want to show you I love you. You can write your own letters, you can send poems. It just came to my mind for a reason. But this would be in your energy and your feelings. So you're reflecting, you want to come to her, you want to run to her, but there's still so much confusion within you. I feel with the Seven of Wands, like you're still building strength, because I feel this collective, you would be thinking, okay, I'm going to run to her. I want to run to her. I love her. I know I want to be with her. You would know that she's your person at this point. You would know that you're on a journey at this point, right? There wouldn't be like in and out at this point. But then you say, like, I'm going to do it. Am I actually ready for it? Am I actually ready for this commitment? And true divine masculine, you know, when you come in, you know that you're ready, right? So maybe you still need to build a little bit of strength. We're going to do guidance for you as well, but let's see what else. We have King of Wands, which is beautiful. Because the Knight of Wands, in reality, you know what I always say, he's not the nicest energy. He's a bit of a flaky energy, right? But the King of Wands is already mature. I think you've matured more than you are giving yourself credit for. You have it in you to pull through. It's like, I'm also hearing, maybe you're one of those people that this Casanova energy comes through. Maybe you've been very reluctant to mature because you had this conditioned thinking that people who are mature are boring. People who are responsible are boring. People who commit are boring. And you're this young Casanova, free, lone wolf. Do you know what I mean? But you have to change your mindset. It's not true. True divine masculine is a man who he commits, he builds stability, he builds security, he commits to his feminine, he devotes to his feminine. But it doesn't take away that he can be crazy romantic, he can be crazy passionate, he can be just this beautiful, colorful soul. Maybe you're a Libra. It just came to my mind because Libras usually have this quality. They have it in them, natural, imbalanced Libra. They have it in them to be very fun, very romantic, very jokester, very key, you know what I mean? But in the same time to be, you know, when it's time to be professional, when it's time to be serious, I can do this. But I see the growth, I see the maturity. The Moon. I'm hearing the Empress. Three of Wands. Yeah. Two of Cups. I'm hearing that because you started reflecting, because you started doing your work, now you're aware of your shadows, and it's like you're afraid of your shadows. Maybe in the past you have been a bit of an impulsive person, right? So maybe you would always come in your dynamics, you would always come in on an impulse, you would always come in when you were like in a bad moment, or when you were like a little bit, you know, under influence or whatever that is. And it's like you just want to run to her and say so many things, but you don't want to do this in a way I don't know how to describe this. It's like you would need slow and steady, because you yourself need to transition into that. And I feel like you think that slow and steady means not romantic. I feel like this collective, you have this passion, this romance within you. So you feel like if you come in just like as this mature, boring guy, like, yes, I know you're my person, I've been thinking about this, I've been doing the work, how can we reconnect? That you in your head, you would think, this is boring, right? I want to do something, bam, right? Because this is who I am. But you're afraid that when you do it that way, that it's going to put this pressure, this tempo, this pace, that you're going to get afraid and your shadow's going to come out. Again, you have to find your own way to balance that. You can really be slow and steady, beautiful, mature man. Do you know what I'm seeing now? Sense and Sensibility. Watch that movie. It's this Alan Rickman and then the other guy. Whatever. He was the complete Knight of Wands. From the beginning of this movie, I would never understand why the stupid girl is not looking at Alan Rickman, the hottest, literally one of the hottest men. I'm not going to say alive because unfortunately, bless his soul, he passed away. But that man is hot, okay? Why? Because he has this sensitive soul. He has it in him to have grand gesture. Oh, that scene when he jumps on horse. Oh my God. But he gives stability as well. He gives security. He's the beacon. He's the one that you can count on. True divine masculine. I feel you just have to find your own way to balance these two things within you, because this maturity is within you right now. You just need to fully integrate it. You can really reach out to her slow and steady, no pressure. Have you watched, I posted it or I haven't posted it. There's a video, you're gonna find it, about how healthy dating looks like. Okay, it's gonna be somewhere around this reading on my TikTok, how healthy dating looks like. And despite the fact I've done this video mostly for like people who are single and are looking for soulmate, at the end of this video, second part, I explain stages of connecting to someone, and these stages also apply for divine love, for divine counterparts who are reconnecting when the masculine comes in. And the first stage is just this innocent friendship. Okay, so as you return, you don't have to put pressure on it. You don't have to be like, what now, what's gonna happen, I'm afraid. You can take it slow, you can do it slow and steady, but in the same time, as you maintain this playfulness, friendship, and build that friendship, in that friendship you can be playful, you can be fun, you can be romantic, you can be you. So it really can be done. I feel like you're over engineering. I'm hearing self-sabotage a little bit, right? But I feel like you would know, you would feel that your divine feminine is really in her divine feminine energy. You would feel this. You would see, maybe you watch her, maybe you keep tabs on her. You would see her growth. You would really know her growth. So you just want to make sure that you're on that same level, that you're not gonna, it's like you really are afraid of your own shadows, which is beautiful, because truly it means that you're mindful of them. You have to give yourself credit. And we have the Three of Wands. I feel like you want to be stronger before you do it. You want to be stronger before you do it. What is he having? Virtue. Projects of virtue? There's a lot of fire in here. I was also hearing color red. Maybe you like color red. Maybe you like color red on your feminine. It just came to my mind. Maybe a detail for some of you. You're closer than you think. You grew more than you think. We're gonna ask Source in a moment how does Source see you. Maybe let's do it now, okay? To give you a little bit of reconfirmation. How does Source see you, your guides? How do they see you, your energy? And then we're gonna do a little guidance. Source, how do you see this collective? Black egg, beautiful. Throat chakra. Let me do 3 more and then we'll talk. Peacock. Moth. A lot of air energy, so it may be that, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Panther. It's nice energy. You would already be, remember we spoke about this, that you thought that around the 7 of Swords energy, about that truth, that you were thought that you were very, you were deceptive a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want to repeat myself. I feel like your throat is clear now. You're ready to speak your truth. You're ready to speak your truth. I feel you're definitely purging. The Panther is about the purge, is about the release. So you would be now at quite a challenging moment. So just be mindful when we're purging, certain things come out to us, to the surface, stronger. So it's not that you haven't healed them. It's just like Source really wants to make sure that we close that pattern, that we close that cycle, right? So it's like they really pronounced in our energy. But I feel that you are purging. I feel you're very drawn to your highest timeline, which includes your feminine as well. That's what I'm hearing. And With that peacock, you know what I'm hearing with that peacock? Again, I don't want to trigger you, but I feel that because of your wounds, it's not your nature. It's because of your wounds. It's because of your armor. But you had moments in your life when you have been quite shallow. When you have been looking at people through the prism of, how they look and what they have, and maybe even at your feminine, a little bit vain as well. That attention seeking is coming through again. But I feel like it's something that you've been healing as well, to realize that, when someone is not beautiful on the inside, no amount of peacock feathers are going to make them beautiful if they just rotted on the inside. We're truly beautiful, beauty, and I always say this, and it's so seen in people who are truly awakened and spiritual. We glow from within. It doesn't matter really how we look like. It's not the features, it's not the body, it's the glow, it's the confidence of the love that we carry within that is magnetizing. And it's like you're learning this. I'm feeling guided to learn through the moth cards to you for whatever reason. So hold on, I want to read through this. Maybe this is important. Maybe it has some guidance. It's like I know these cards too well, and I usually read intuitively, but that's what I'm guided to do. Impulsive, hasty, wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. And this is what I was saying. I feel there's still this imbalance that you need to work on, because you're so romantic, because when you decide you want something, you're going to fight for it, but then you want it now, right? So it may really clash. I talk about this a lot at this channel. When the masculine returns, there's always recalibration process. It's not like you knock on our door and you put yourself at one knee and we're like, yes, let's get married, right? Because we're now in divine feminine. We remember what you did to us. It's not that we're resentful, but we need to make sure that you are no longer the same person, that you really match your energy now. So things have to go slow and steady. Things have to recalibrate. So just be careful, because I feel like you're missing your feminine. You want to return, but you're maybe reluctant to accept that there's going to be a process of recalibration when you will have to win her over. Don't take it as an inconvenience. Take it as a challenge. Take it as a quest. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointments, or burnout. I was seeing this in your energy. It's like you're in and out. You're very impulsive. You're very passionate. You're very romantic. But then you think that this maturity and this commitment, it's so boring. So you're not allowing this in your energy. It needs to be balance of both. It's helpful to remind moth personality that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and turbulations of this great journey. Exactly. And the trial really sticks out. It's going to be a trial. Practicing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. It's like, I feel you subconsciously know that it's going to be it's going to be difficult, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be a journey to return to each other. And it's like you want to return and you want to already be together in this apartment, in this house, in this bed that you dream of. But it's not going to be that way. But really, it's the urgency. Connect to your soul. Your soul loves the journey, the exploration. It's like, if you want to do grand gestures, if you want to be romantic with her, you can do this all your life. Who says it has to be the moment you return? Maybe the moment you return, you can show her really that you've changed, so that now you provide maturity, stability, and security. And that beautiful, romantic, passionate, wild part of you, you can give it to her every day in your joint life once you're in union. When in balance, enthusiastic. When out of balance, idealizes others, jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. Maybe that's your project. Maybe you have to actually. It's funny. I was talking about this the other day that sometimes when we struggle to take a decision, we feel anxiety, but it's not the anxiety of the outcome of the decision, but the fact that we're unable to take a decision. The moment we take it, we're released. So maybe you can give yourself a timeline, right? If you're not going to fulfill with this timeline because you're not going to feel ready, so working for your shadows, it's fine. But maybe you should say to yourself, I will reach out to her in a month. I will reach out to her in 3 months, 6 months, whatever that is, whatever you feel internally guided to do, you know what I mean? But maybe you should, maybe that's the project, to finish your healing, to commit. That commitment, we've been talking about this. Maybe you have to commit to yourself, actually have an action plan, because I feel like still in your energy, it's this wishful thinking, it's this dreaming. I want to do this, I want to run to her, I need her. But how? Use that strategy that you were using for sneakiness before, heart chakra, for a good thing. Yeah. Hold on. My battery's dying, but maybe it will be fine. It will be okay. We have the rabbits. We have the camel. We have the crow. This one I really love. And we have the tiger. Bat at the bottom of the deck. I feel there are still fears within you. You have the capacity right now to speak your truth. You know your truth. There's certain things that you already know within yourself, but you're still a little bit fearful of the outcome. You just have to accept that sometimes you just don't know. You just don't know. You have to. This is what we were talking about in the beginning of this reading. Remember? It doesn't matter what people will say, how they will react. I know my truth. I'm just going to say it. Assumptions and expectations is what we have to release on this journey. As you approach your feminine, you cannot have expectations. This is how she's going to react. But you're going to get disappointed because this moment always triggers us. This moment is not, it is a beautiful love story. We live a life that is a life of paradise once we're in union. But when we return to each other, we really have to test ourselves. It's our ultimate karmic contract. Just do it when you do it, as you do it, regardless what's going to happen, regardless what she's going to say. You're going to have more than gazillions of beautiful romantic moments between the two of you. I feel you're still reluctant to accept that it is a journey and you already have what it takes to embark on this journey. It's like, again, you're waiting for something, you're trying to build strength but you're prolonging it because you know that this moment's going to be difficult, but you dream about this moment, you're keeping yourself like a little bit in this craziness of, thinking about these things instead of just accepting it. I have to do it because I know it's going to be a journey. But I want to start this journey with my feminine. Do you know what I mean? But I feel in this crow and this tiger, I feel there's one more thing that I would encourage you to really work on. I feel because you're so romantic, your heart is so pure, your heart is so beautiful. I feel you're very intuitive, maybe even psychic without you knowing. I feel you have to learn to trust your intuition a little bit more, your clairs a little bit more, your clairvoyance, clairsentience as you work through these shadows that we discussed. Allow your inner feminine a little bit to guide you. I feel you're a very colorful, like multi-dimension persona. It's like on one hand you're very passionate, you're very right. On the other you're very sensual and romantic and sensitive. And then on the other, like there's this when you need to get the job done, right? And you're struggling to connect these things. It's like this conditioned thinking that you feel in your head that you have to be only one. It's not true. We can be whoever we want. You can have variety of colors, plethora of colors. You can be incredibly romantic when you feel like it, and then the other day You know, I'm seeing certain things. I'm gonna say it's spirit. But in other days, you're going to be very passionate and very fire. We have all elements within, right? Remember, all these things are elements. So that Knight of Wands, that it's your fire, it's your passion that you just want to grab her and just want to run to her and push her over the wall. Ah! But then you have water. You have water that you want to, maybe write those poems and, be romantic and do these grand gestures. But then there's earth element that you need as well. Very grounded, very stable, earth element is so important for the masculine. It's the stability, it's the security, it's the long-term plan. All those elements exist within you. I feel like you just need to teach them to work with each other. To work with each other beautifully. That's it. I want to do some final guidance, like some messages from your guides. Just a few of these. I was guided to take these today. Let's do maybe 4. That's interesting. Very interesting. All right, we have forgiveness. That's your divine feminine at the bottom of the deck. I feel for this collective, she's already there. We have forgiveness, number 14. I feel like maybe you're wondering whether she's forgiven you or whether she will forgive you. I'm again seeing this Casanova card. I feel like there's a lot of shame for this collective about things that you've done. Maybe you have been a bit of a Casanova. Maybe you have been really connecting to, many women and in a very shallow way, in a very and it's now causing a lot of purging and a lot of pain within you. The realization of what have I done? I talk about this moment so much. If you struggle with this, I have a very powerful attunement on my website. If you go to attunement sections at the bottom, there are twin flames attunements, and there's a self-forgiveness for divine masculine. And there's also an episode in my masterclass. My masterclass is free on YouTube, Divine Masculine Masterclass. There's an episode about self-forgiveness. But in reality, I always say this, the moment you come in, the moment the masculines come in, we would have forgotten you a long time ago. But it doesn't mean that as you come in, you don't have to ask for forgiveness. Because part of being divine masculine is taking accountability for your actions and admitting, right? But in reality, you have to forgive yourself. You have to truly understand everything that I've explained from the beginning. There's a reason you did these things. You were just wounded. You had a locked heart. You were looking for distractions. You were looking for breadcrumbs of love. Forgive yourself. This person no longer exists. Your second card is love. It's love. I feel like you're really being guided right now too. This is why I was saying to you, connect to that romance. Connect to what is the love that I desire. Connect to those dreams, jumping on that white horse. Connect to fantasizing about your feminine. Connect to her, connect to her heart, feel the frequency of love, raise your vibration to the frequency of love. It's very important for you right now. And it's funny because we have 10 and 12, distorted masculine and divine masculine. They came, so first the distorted masculine, divine masculine. I feel you really are beginning to, I feel like you're not grounded in this energy yet. There are certain things that you need to do, but you are in this energy already. I have this, if you go to my website, there's a section of divine love. And in this section, you have listed qualities of distorted masculine to divine feminine. Maybe you should just check in with yourself. And whatever still you feel that from distorted masculine you have, try to just contemplate, what shadows do I need to work on? It came to my mind for a reason. Maybe they really want you to understand what really distorted masculine means, what really divine masculine means. And I'm also hearing, and everything happens for a reason, I'm hearing that once you are in your divine masculine, you do not accept anyone in your life who isn't divine masculine, so, or at least walking towards that path. So if you still have distorted masculines in your life, I'm looking at this bank. Maybe it's a detail for some of you. Maybe you work in a bank. If you still have, or a friend of yours have distorted masculine in your energy, you have to remove that. True divine masculine, he's not, friends with distorted masculines, right? So if you have men in your life who still are in this Casanova energy, disrespectful energy, fear of commitment energy, love is a chain kind of energy, you have to remove this. Again, men in your life, friends, and relationships in men, they're very important for feminines as well, but I feel like for men especially, you build together, right? But you have to start reaching a little higher, and you have to make sure that men in your life are either already divine masculines or they're working on themselves to become divine masculines. And I'm hearing this specifically, and I'm hearing this for a reason. So if you still have men, friends, family members, male family members who represent that energy, disrespect towards women, cheating, sleeping around, Casanova, seeking for validation, very superficial, very shallow, remove that. Hatred, especially hatred. And there's this quote that says how much our life changes was when we start to surround ourselves, when you're a man, when you start to surround yourself with men who love women, and vice versa. When you're a woman, you start to surround yourself with women who love men. So when I come across a woman that says, oh men are this and that, I immediately cut this energy out. It's wounding. True divine being, whatever energy you identify with, when it comes to genders, we understand that this is just a physical vessel. We love each other, we appreciate each other. There are distorted people, both feminine and masculines, on this world, but this hate is just self-respect. It's just a division. It's just a confusing division. So really look at this. You have to make sure that all men that you surround yourself with, maybe even if they're still a little bit wounded, working on themselves, that's fine, but they respect and love women. People who one day would want to have a relationship, or if they would respect their woman. It's very important. Again, I'm hearing this for a reason. I'm also looking at this lion. Maybe it has a meaning to you. Maybe you connect to lion. Maybe it's your animal spirit. Divine masculine energy, lion. All right. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like, share, and comment. And as always, if you feel like you need support on my website, link is in my bio to my website. You can book a private session, shadow work session. And yeah, you're really doing amazing. I feel like you just need some final balance, some final recalibration, and a tangible plan. I feel like you've been avoiding this, right? And a tangible plan, an actual set the date sort of a situation. I'm not going to be avoiding this the whole my life, and that will help you to sort of focus on your healing.